Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I've got another update. I'm getting started here on this 47 International hay baler. I've got it all pressure washered out. Everything's turning right and everything, but I've got an anomaly here. And the only thing I can figure out what's going on is that somebody's had these knotters apart and put them back together wrong. So I am guessing, unless there's something that I'm not understanding, I am guessing that that's the case, and it hasn't worked since it was done to it. And here's what I'm basing that on. You can see this part here, and then you go over to the other knotter and it's in a different position. I noticed this. I've got these pulled up so that you can get to them, but I noticed that when I had them down, you can see down in there, and then there you can see when you line up there that they're in different positions. So looking at this, the only way I can figure that that is out of position if somebody had these gears apart and put them back together out of time. Anyway, last night I printed out, I bought a manual for this, service manual online, a PDF of it, so I got it immediately, which was nice. And I'm just getting started on studying the timing of this stuff. I looked all over on YouTube and I can't find hardly anything on timing of these old balers. Maybe I'm just putting the wrong searches in or something, but I couldn't find any. I'm hoping that somebody out there had done a good video on timing them, and wasn't able to find it. So anyway, when I figure this out, I generally do figure things out, but when I figure things out, I'll let you know what I come up with. So I think I've determined which of these twisters is off. If you look at this right one, you can see the rollers there on the needles where the wire would go through. And then that makes the wire fall right in that notch right there. So when you come over here on this other side, you can see it's not lining up with that notch where that wire would pull through there. So I think it's this one here I need to change. It's just a mystery to me how it got off, unless somebody had it apart and didn't get it back together correctly. Okay, wanted to show you what I found, and evidently it is possible for this timing to get off on these discs without taking them apart. So I pulled this apart here, and when you pull these discs out, you can see that shaft is just tapered, and then that taper fits in the taper of the gear, and then you put everything together here on top of it up in here and tighten that bolt down, and it squishes that bearing down on the taper, and that's what keeps it from turning. So that surprises me that there's no pin in there or something to hold it in the exact right spot. But so if this top bolt loosened up a little bit, it's easy to get the timing off as far as those discs go. So I'm going to line things up and put it together and tighten that bolt down real good and see if it'll stay consistent. Well, I solved the mystery of the timing on this. I got this figured out to where I can tighten it up, get it lined up and tighten it up, but the reason it was out was this needle is bent a little bit on this side and it's interfering with that disc. So I'll have to see if I can pull the needle out of that parts baler I've got, see if I can make that work and get that clearance correct and then get that lined up, and I think I'm in business. Took me a lot of figuring and puzzling and studying this book, figuring out how things worked, but I think I've got it figured out now. Making forward progress with this machine. First bale made in years and years with this machine. Okay, our test was a success. I had just a little bit of a big bale of hay here. That's all I've got left here for the goats and the cattle is big bales of hay that I bought last year. But these are the first bales this baler has made for years and years. I'm just tickled to death with how it's turned out here. I've got to adjust it. The bales are too long. I have to loosen that and pull it down so it trips it a little bit quicker. But this bale here is the first bale that I did, and it's really loose. That's to be expected on that first bale. Pushing it into an empty chamber. And then there's the second bale. It's quite loose as well, but once I get things dialed in, it'll tighten up. And that hay is really dry too, so that's something to consider. Anyway, awesome deal. It's been quite a project getting this whole thing working. It's sure fun to see it twist them first knots. The twisters seem to be working perfect. Took a while for me to get the timing thing figured out. Had to study the manual and figure out how to make it work. And then the other major thing I spent a bunch of time on was the knives in here. You can see the knives that cut the hay as the plunger goes back. That, I think, I don't know how it got out of whack, but they weren't hitting right. And so I spent a lot of time messing with them, getting that alignment going good enough on that. So anyway, thanks for watching. I still got a little bit more work to do, but I have got a major project getting to be wrapped up. I'm hoping we've got rain in the forecast until Tuesday of this week, and then it's supposed to dry out. I am planning on cutting a little bit of hay and a lot of weeds, trying to catch these weeds in this east pasture before they go to seed on me. So I'll probably be doing that next week. So thanks for watching.